When you're pouring yourself a cold one, you may expect a refreshing experience.
But what you probably don't expect is plastic in your beer. 13 on your side, health reporter Val Lego looks into where it's coming from, Val.
Well, the short answer is us, but here's more on why it's there and what we can do about it. Grand Rapids, Beer City, USA. A great place to sample a frosty mug of plastic?
You're telling me we actually have plastic in our beer?
Oh, yes, we do. Yeah, no doubt.
Sherrie Mason has been studying freshwater plastic pollution for over a decade. She's currently the Director of Sustainability for Penn State Erie.
We sailed, sampled, and swam in all 5 of the Great Lakes.
She spent 2 years studying plastic pollution in our Great Lakes and found nearly 5 billion pieces, most of it microscopic.
They obviously come from something that's bigger, and they break into these ever smaller pieces.
And while you can't see the plastic in your beer, Sherrie says it's in the tap water used to produce it. And not just microbrews, but every kind of beer brewed along the Great Lakes.
If you're talking about brewing beer, you bring in that water to brew beer. And what better way to kind of get people to take this reality seriously than to tell them that there is in fact plastic in your beer.
So how does microscopic plastic get into our water? In ways you would never think. Our clothes.
In beer study, actually, most of what we find, 97%, 98% were fibers. So these are things that come off of our clothes.
When we wash or manufacture them, or any type of plastic material, tiny particles are released into the air and land back into our Great Lakes, where they end up in our drinking water, despite the filtration efforts of the water treatment plants.
And I want to be very clear here, water treatment facilities do exactly what they're supposed to do. They are filtering it, they're really good. But as soon as that water comes in contact with air, fibers that are in the air are going to end up in the water.
So what's the big deal about drinking tiny particles of plastic? It's beginning to alter our DNA. Multiple studies have found a link between plastic and a decrease in fertility in both men and women. Plastic has also been found to play a role in the higher rate of miscarriage in the U.S. It's also been proven to be one of the factors leading to increased obesity in our children and increasing the chances of getting breast and ovarian cancer. So what can we do?
The reality is if we can reduce our usage of this material, then we find less of it in the water, and there will be less of it in the items that we drink and the food that we eat. It's really kind of that simple.
And less of it in our beer. Unfortunately, though, guys, it's not that easy. It's simple, but it's not that easy. Our plastic production has increased by 35% since 2010.
Wow.
And I mean, it's just shocking to see how much plastic that we can consume. Of course, that statistic is from the business data platform Statistica, who keeps track of all of this and predicts it to grow even more. It is a $588 billion a year business in the U.S.
So we know there's plastic in our beer. Let's talk more about the plastic particles in our tap water.
Yes. Okay. So because the beer goes through filtration process, there's actually less in your beer, more in your tap water. And so you have to think about how you're consuming your water, what you're doing, you know, all of the different filtration systems, especially if you're drinking a lot of bottled water, even more in there. So if what I've told you about is really getting you thinking about your plastic consumption, I've got a lot of reading for you to do. I put links to Sherrie's study on plastic in the Great Lakes, also the ones that document the health hazards of the plastic particles in our bodies, and tips on how to reduce your plastic consumption. It's all on 13onyourside.com.
These conversations need to keep happening because these are issues, and I think even more things are going to come out about plastic consumption going forward.
I think so.
We don't think about it
No.
until you call attention to it. Thanks, Val.